Well, hello there from Audrain County, Missouri, Sheriff Matt Aller. So this next gun we're going to look at, we're going to jump right into this. This next gun we're going to look at, I've had it for about a week. Shot it enough to sight it in, and then the weather got stupid. There's always rain or 50-mile-an-hour winds, but this afternoon, early evening, it's pretty gorgeous right now. It's pretty calm. So we're going to jump right into this with the El Presidente. And then we'll talk a little bit about the gun while we shoot it some more, but I'm pretty excited about it. Just sighting it in was, there's a lot of stuff I liked about it. So anyway, let me bust out the trusty shot timer here and see how we can do. This is the first time we've ever done anything other than sight this gun in. First shots for you. Here we go. Maybe. .45, 9 seconds, 0.45, 9.45. The Canik TP9SFX. And I put a Holosun 507 comp on it. And, a few people that have looked at it have talked about how big the window is on that. I actually wanted it that way. I seem to not be able to pick up red dots very well because after 30 years as a police officer, it's so ingrained in me to look for that front sight. The thing I liked about this gun, so they had this at Graff's, and I picked it up, played with it a little bit. I'd heard of Canik, or Canik, I'm not sure how you say it, but I've never really messed with one. And I picked it up, messed around with it. It has a good feel. The ergonomics are nice. The trigger pull for a striker-fired gun on this thing is just pretty phenomenal. There's no stack. There's a little bit of a stack, but it's not like Glock stack. And the reset on this. Now, this gun's built for racing. I'm not a race gun driver, but I would like to be. This gun makes me want to be one, but watch the reset. Man, probably talking maybe a 32nd of an inch. Very fast gun to shoot. And seems to be reasonably well put together for the price. So this was, without the Holosun, the gun was sub $500, like $483, I think. The optic, the Holosun 507 comp, was right around $300, give or take. So, but you can see it's a large window. And the other thing that I liked about this, so a lot of folks want suppressor height sights to be able to co-witness their red dot. I did not want suppressor height sights because I don't want to be able to see that front sight when I pull that up, because then my mind starts going, oh, front sight, which is why I think it's why I have such a hard time with other guns with red dots that have suppressor height sights that are co-witnessed. It's very difficult for me after 30 years to get my mind off of find that front sight. So let's load a magazine and we'll talk a little more. So I walked into Graff's and this Canik was in there. I usually walk in there about once a week, and it had been in there for a couple of weeks before I bought it. And I've never messed with them. I know guys that have, and they really like them. And to me, it was just another plastic striker fired gun until I picked it up and actually started messing with it and seeing how the controls were laid out and feeling the trigger pull, and really putting my mind to what I actually had my hands on, which was something that I actually have come to enjoy quite a bit. I've pulled it up in the house in order to be able to see the red dot and just get my mind focused on find the dot. Watch some YouTube videos. There's some really good guys out there that are pretty dang good at trying to explain to people how to use a red dot, especially for fuds like me who have, pick up that other magazine, fuds like me who have always been looking at the front sight, right? So we were at 10 yards. Here's our far right-hand target, 1, 2, 3, 4. Second target, 1, 2, 3, 4. Third target, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got a little off to the right on that one, but now we're going to shoot it a little bit for accuracy, maybe a little bit of slow fire. When I sighted it in, man, it was phenomenal. Now everybody has on days and off days, right? Today may be an off day for me, but when I initially sighted this in, I mean, I was cutting quarter-size holes at 15 yards with 20 rounds. It was the trigger pull, the reset was just pretty gosh darn phenomenal. I think we've got 18 in it maybe, so we'll load it, put my ears back on, and see how tight a group we can shoot. Here we go. I'm going to shoot the head of the right-hand target. Well, we had one failure to fire there. First malfunction that I've had. Primers hit fairly well. So we'll try to recycle it again and see what happens. Then we'll walk down and take a look at that target. I think it's a bad round because it didn't go off again. All right, and that was, in case you guys are wondering, that's the round that it was. Just some cheap stuff I picked up at Graf's today, like 14 bucks a box or something. So there was a bad round in that box. Everything else went off but that one, and we hit it twice and it didn't go off. So I'm gonna say that it's a bad round and not the gun. All right, let's take a little peek. Now, 2 of these, or 3 of these actually, I did throw low. That was me, and I knew it when I did it. But, I mean, that's 15 rounds right there, and then those 3 make 18. I believe there was 18. Some of you guys may have counted. I looked at the back of the magazine and thought I had 18 in it. So that would represent 15. And then these 3 I threw, and I knew I threw them when I did it. Just a really fun gun to shoot, to be honest with you. It's, the ergonomics on it are very nice. So one of the things that I really like about this gun is I can get to the magazine release without manipulating my hand. And I've got big hands, but my fingers are not necessarily long, so that I can actually get to without having to turn my hand on the gun. And part of it is it's extended pretty far out there. But it's so easy to reach for another mag, and the magazines go in so nice and they come out so nice. Really, I was not expecting what I got in a $500 gun. I've almost got as much tied up in the optic as I do the gun. Of course, it's got the accessory rail. You can hang a light on it. Now, the one thing is, and again, this did not bother me, but the rear sight is gone. It comes off with the optics mounting plate. So the front sight is low enough that I do not see it. When I pull the gun up, I don't see the front sight. I just see the dot, which is good for me because I'm trying to, you know, in order to do this, if I would ever want to put an optic on a pistol, in order to do it, I've got to be able to eliminate that front sight. I've got to be able to train my mind to find the dot and not the sight, which has been very difficult for me with the few guns that I've messed with that have optics on them. So flies are out. All right, maybe we'll shoot a little steel and then maybe transition over to a paper target, see how we do. I bought a lapel mic, but there's no wind today, so I didn't figure I would need it. It's pretty calm here today, which is pretty miraculous considering the last week we've had storms and rain, and I think I think there were 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts day before yesterday. Just crazy. Got 3 more. I don't know how many that'll make, but looks like we got 18 again. All right, let's load this dude up and see if we can maybe ring a little steel and transition over to some paper targets. I don't know if you guys can see that steel over there. There we go. Right in the middle. That felt so good. I like it. A little big to carry. I don't know. They make duty holsters for these, so I may wind up carrying this in uniform. I'll probably mess with it, shoot it a bunch more, and then try, well, not try, but I'll qualify with it. And I may actually carry it once its dependability is proven. There's another sheriff here in Missouri, Sheriff Jeff Oswald over at Howard County, which is just west of me. He carries a Canik on duty, or Canik, I'm not sure how you say it again, but and Jeff is a good shot, and he swears by it, likes it better than the Glocks and the SIGs and all that stuff. So I was kind of thinking of him when I saw this gun in the case. Now he's got the shorter regular TP9, not the extra long slide thing, and he brags about his quite a bit. So when I bought this, I called him and said, "Hey Jeff, I bought a Canik TP9," and he was kind of impressed with me because I used to give him crap about it. I'm like, "What is that?" So I will probably wind up carrying this maybe in uniform. It's a little big to try to conceal, especially with the optic on it. Now I do have, I'll lower this camera. I did buy a concealment holster from Crossbreed out of Springfield, Missouri. Christian-based company. They run by really good folks, ex-veterans. But anyway, I bought this holster, and it covers it up. If I bend over, you can see the muzzle. And with those 20-round magazines, let's see, where'd it go? So it's got the 2-round extension on the floor plate. That's a 20-rounder. They make a flush fit that would bring that up even with the grip. That would probably make it a little easier to put under a shirt. But I've worn it under a shirt, and it doesn't do too bad if I wear it at the 3 o'clock. If I get much further back, like 3:30 or so, the grip starts sticking back out of my shirt a little bit. But for the most part, I mean, and I've said this 1,000 times, if you cannot conceal a full-size pistol, you're not doing it right. I can conceal this. Now bending, maybe it may print a little bit, but at the end of the day, one of these days I'm going to do a survey. I'm going to go into somewhere at random, someplace local, and I am going to do a survey and ask people. I'll walk around, talk to folks, and I'm going to ask them if they know I'm carrying a gun, just to see how many people actually notice a little bit of printing, because everybody's worried about printing. I would say 99% of the people in the world don't even look. I do, but I've been a cop a long time. But like my wife, and my wife's in law enforcement, but she doesn't really pay any attention. And like my sister, when I go out with her, I'm like, "That dude's carrying a gun," and she's like, "I never paid no mind." So if it prints a little bit, probably don't care too much. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed shooting this TP9SFX, which is the longer version, kind of set up for race gunning, right? Kind of set up for shooting games. I wish I would have shot it with the iron sight still on it, just to see. But the purpose in buying this gun was to put an optic on it, so I can kind of try to transition into the modern age. We'll see. So far, I really like the gun. Does have adjustable back straps. This one is the one that came on the gun. It's perfect for me. Feels great. So I mean, I have no complaints about this thing, especially about the price tag. I am, for the Holosun and the gun, I am just a few bucks over $800 into this gun, and you could not set up a Glock for that. You couldn't set up a SIG for that. And they make this shorter. They make the TP9SF and just the TP9. I think they make a compact. But for what I've got in this gun, I really like the ergonomics. The slide release is easy to operate. It's right there. It's got two different sections to it. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's got the flat section and it's got a raised section out. It meets my thumb just fine for a mag change. And the mag release, again, I can get to that without having to shift my hand on the gun. Super good gun. At least for me, I enjoy the heck out of it for the money I've got tied up in it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Sheriff Matt Allard, Audrain County, Missouri. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.